everyone, and welcome to Lattes on My Mind. I'm Hannah.
And I'm Felina.
What are we going to be talking about this fine night, Felina?
This fine night, because it's an evening recording, we're going to be talking about Hatman.
Ooh.
So grab your lattes and join us for the journey. We may have potentially seen an unalived person.
I don't.
Week.
Yeah.
That was sad.
That was
a sad time.
And Felina was trying to protect me.
I told her I saw it and I said, "Don't look." And she said, "Okay." And then she goes, "Was that person dead?"
I was like, "Will you answer? Was it true?"
And I'll be like, "Well, I can't say for sure because I wasn't out there, but
It was sad.
It was a little sus.
We kind of were like, And that's what happens when you drive in downtown situations, I think.
Yeah.
It's like, always you see something upsetting, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not always, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were on our way out of the downtown area. It was like, we almost made it.
Almost made it out without something really. But yeah, what a way to start the podcast,
I know.
I guess.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. We just want you guys to realize that we had to trauma bond this week.
We did. We had a trauma bond.
Yeah.
It's also, in other news, Happy National Cat Day.
It is.
I know you don't have a cat, but...
I don't, but I did. Her name was Felicity.
Wow. That's a long cat name.
Yeah. We called her Lissy a lot.
Lissy.
Yeah.
Get over here, Lissy.
We always had nicknames for our animals.
We very rarely call our animals by their name. I had to take a deep breath there. I was like, woo. This is another evening episode, as you heard, so bear with us. And it is the close. I know it's November, but we had to do one more. It's the close of our spooky season. Spooky episodes.
Yes.
So
you also said that last week you were going to figure out the movie or tell them the movie. And
it's The Lake House.
The Lake House with Keanu Reeves.
And what's her face?
Oh, gosh.
That one
Sandra
girl.
Bullock?
Good old Sandy. Yes.
Okay. Because I just have to know that because I'm editing that one and I'm like, she said she was going to tell them. So
I know I thought about that, but then I couldn't. I thought about that last night, but then I was like, what movie were we talking about?
You couldn't. And the funny thing is, you called your mom.
You guys.
Yes.
I literally called my mother. Shout out Dee Dee. And I called her right after we stopped recording. And I was like, Mom, what is that movie where oh my gosh, I know what it is. It's The Lake House. I was like, thanks, Mom.
She didn't even.
I didn't even have to ask her.
She didn't even wait to.
I said, I just needed to hear her voice to know.
And then it was revealed to you.
Yeah. I knew that was going to happen as soon as we stopped recording.
Oh my goodness.
That is my garage door. You can just ignore it, I think.
Just don't, yeah. You might not even be able to hear it, but it is like vibrating the microphone.
Entire microphone.
Anyway.
Anywho's what's it?
What else disappears? Were we talking about something that disappears?
No.
I thought we said something that disappears.
That was a nice try.
I try real hard with the segues.
You know what else just appears and comes to you?
What?
The Hatman.
Oh my gosh.
Hannah, what do you know of the Hatman?
Nothing.
Wow.
I know he's in a corner.
He wears hats.
Yes, and
a hat.
Apparently he has a hat.
He has a hat.
Cowboy hat, fedora.
What kind of hat?
A birthday hat.
It's a big hat.
Just a big hat?
It's like a top hat. Not a top hat. It's like a wide brimmed hat almost.
Like a what are those called? It's not a cowboy hat, but it's I don't know. I thought I knew my hat.
It's like this.
Oh my gosh. A pilgrim hat.
Kind of. Almost. I don't think the hat's quite that tall in all the pictures that I've seen, but
it's like a wide brimmed top hat.
Wide brimmed top hat.
What is that called? I don't know.
I can't remember. I just put he wore a hat. He wore a hat. I just put that he wears a brim hat.
Okay. All right. I don't know a lot about him. I've literally just heard his name. And I didn't know if it was the same. What's that guy that doesn't have the face? That's not him, right? Oh.
Which guy that doesn't have a face? I feel like there's a lot of guys that don't have faces.
Well, what is it called? It's not, they're like thin. I think I'm thinking it. What is that one called? I don't know. That's what I thought he was, but I don't think he is.
Like,
what are they called?
Flesh pedestrians have faces, though.
Yeah, they have faces. I thought there was a guy that didn't have a face.
A guy that didn't.
That was like really thin.
Like Slenderman?
Slenderman? Does he have a face?
I can't remember.
Oh, okay. Maybe. I think that's who I'm thinking of when you say Hatman, which is not the same thing.
No, not quite.
Okay.
Slenderman does things to people, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Hatman?
Apparently does not.
What?
I don't know
what's with all these cryptids.
I don't know what's with me. I don't know what's going on with me. But every episode I pick, I'm like, ooh, that guy sounds interesting. And then I like dig deeper, and then I'm like, he doesn't even do anything.
And then I'm just trying to mind my own business, and I get like this serial killer, like torturers in my research, and I'm like, what the heck? I don't want to talk about this. And then you get the
people want you to talk about it. The people want you to talk about it in great detail.
Do
actually.
they? Not great detail.
Yes,
we're gonna
in
keep
great
it.
detail. They want the detail. They want the deets. Anywho, and on that note,
tell me about
I'm going
this
to
man.
give you the deets, everybody.
All right, let's get into it.
So Hatman first became, so he's been around for a little bit, but like he became popular and known as Hatman. We'll touch on that at the end. In the early 2000s.
What? Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought it was like further back.
Well, he is sort of Hatman. The term Hatman.
It's not until
is in the early 2000s.
Okay.
So, and my best guess is like the internet was happening, and then people started like coming up with this and sharing their experiences. Mm-hmm. He is a shadow figure.
I don't like that.
He wears like, I don't like that either.
No, I don't like shadow figures. Mm-mm.
Shadow people, because I feel like with a shadow, you can't tell if it's a shadow or if it's like a actual, like how we were talking about, you see your clothes on the chair. Yeah. And you're like, oh my gosh, there's a man in my house.
Because like I've opened my eyes before in the dark too. And like, how you sometimes like see those spots and stuff like that are just like dark spots or whatever. And you're like, oh my gosh, someone. And then it's not someone.
Yeah.
And is it?
Or is it? Like I said, he wears a brim hat. He also wears a trench coat.
Okay.
Or jacket, some people say.
So a shadow detective.
Basically, he's like that. You know what? It's like, it's that one commercial with the... Is it a commercial? It's
commercial.
I just thought of this. Sorry, we're going to get on a tangent. Hang on. That one commercial where it's like no, it's not a commercial. It's the movie If.
If?
Yes, it's the movie If. And it's like, he's a shadow person, but he's like a detective.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's like...
That's who it is. We've solved the mystery.
Okay.
End of podcast. Have
8-minute podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed this little tidbit.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So like a trench coat. He has no discernible facial features.
Okay, see? I was right kind of about that.
Kind of. But I don't think you were thinking of him.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
But like he has no nose and stuff, but does he have eyes? Because in that picture you just showed me.
Funny you ask. Kinda. So he is described as having either bright red eyes, but a lot of people say that the bright red eyes come after they like stare at him for a second. Like they just kind of like
he's like
slowly start to show up.
What?
Yeah, some people say that. Some people say he has bright red eyes immediately. Some people say that he has just dark pools. Oh, like he doesn't have eyes,
like sockets,
but like they can feel the eyes and they're just dark. Yeah.
So Mothman? Is he a Mothman type figure?
Is he a Mothman type figure?
Red eyes?
Well, there's a lot of red eyes, I feel like.
Are they glowing? Or like if you stare at him long enough, you can just kind of see like the light reflecting off of his eyes that are red?
No, they're like glowing.
Okay.
Naturally, I feel like.
Naturally glowing red eyes.
If you have a shadow.
If you see
figure
a shadow
in your room in a trench coat and a brimmed hat, he's got to have red glowing eyes.
Obviously.
Yeah. He is described as 6 to 10 feet tall.
Okay, what? That's a 4-foot discrepancy there.
No. Well,
he's a shadow.
He is a shadow.
So he's cast.
So he can change.
That's true.
Yes. Some people say I'm going to give this away ahead of time. He is seen everywhere.
All around the world.
Globally.
Okay.
He is a global monster.
A little traveler.
Yeah, a little travel boy.
Yeah.
Which also kind of makes me think maybe it's not just like one shadow man.
Yeah.
Like, or one hat man. It could be.
But then again, if he's a shadow, he can kind of go
wherever, really.
Wherever. I mean, I don't know. It's not like I don't know how that works, but
yeah, he can. But so in some areas he's 6 feet tall, in other areas he's 10 feet tall, which also makes me like.
Mm-hmm. It could be different ones.
That's also what it's like. Okay, but then in some areas he carries, and it's only in certain areas of the world, and I can't remember which one, but he carries a golden pocket watch. Not everybody sees the golden pocket watch. Again, furthering my theory that maybe Hatman is multiple people, multiple spirits, shadows, whatever.
A shadow, and everything is his hat a shadow. So the pocket watch is real. It's like a real object that the shadow man carries.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
I don't know. His trench coat is also drawn a lot as like tan.
Oh. So like his hat, his jacket, and a pocket watch are like real items, but he's shadow.
Well, funny you should say that.
Okay.
Because my next bullet point said, he is not a solid figure.
Oh.
They don't see it's like mist-like.
Right.
So even though like, yes, this is a jacket. Yes, this is a hat. Yes, this is a watch. It's all mystified. It's like
Could he
misty.
be an invisible person?
Ooh.
Sorry, I don't know if I'm giving things away.
No, you're not invisible.
I don't know. Like, because if it's sitting on him, I just want to know how it's sitting on him. Like, maybe the misty shadow is
like
just
in his jacket.
Yeah, I know. But like, how? If it's a shadow, how is it holding it up?
It's the supernatural entity.
That's true. That's true. It can do anything at once.
It can be anything.
Okay.
A lot of people describe it as being eerily quiet when he's around.
Makes sense. He's a shadow.
Like he himself is like silent.
He stares in silence.
Yeah.
Ew.
Mm-hmm. It's creepy. I don't know about you, but if I saw something with red glowing eyes, a brimmed hat, a golden watch,
yeah,
and
the golden watch is throwing me off,
and a trench coat just silently staring at me in the middle of the night. I am not getting any sleep the rest of the night.
No. Who would be?
No.
Demon. That's a demon.
Like, I'd immediately start praying. I'd be like, Jesus, on the name of Jesus.
Is this my laundry or is this...
Are you real or are you just like, did I forget to fold my laundry?
Right.
Again. Yet another time. Yeah. So we're going to get into what he does because he doesn't do anything, but he does.
Okay.
So he leaves people breathless.
Okay.
So like people like they can't breathe when they're around him. But he doesn't like come and push on their chest or anything. Like it's not like
he just stands there.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like he's well, okay. So in some accounts are he just stands in the corner in the closet. Mm-hmm. Some accounts are he hovers over your chest.
I don't like that.
But he never actually touches you.
He just is there.
Which like there's certain like mythology and certain like demonic creatures where it's like, oh, they like push on my chest or they step on my chest. Like, no, he doesn't actually ever touch them.
It's like his presence.
It's like a psychological, like they can't breathe.
Okay.
They feel like this evil heaviness in their chest when he's around. Again, he's seen all over the world, and even some people see him multiple times. Some people get multiple visits from him, whether it's like around the same time in their life, or if it's like I had this, I saw him when I was younger, and then I saw him again when I was a teenager, and then I was like whether it's that stuff, or some people just see him. They have like one encounter with him, and it's done.
I wonder if like certain people he reveals himself to, and then he like will come visit them again, like specifically because they've seen him already. I don't know why, but like...
Yeah, but like why wouldn't he do that with everybody then, though?
I don't know. But it's just weird that if you see him, like, you said it's common for someone to see him again, right?
Well, some people see him again. Some people don't. Like, I don't know which one's more common and which one's not.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant it was like a common thing to see him.
Some people do see him, like, they'll see him in one setting and then they'll see him in a completely different setting. So it's weird.
So maybe I'm jumping ahead, but is he like in like certain rooms, or is he in public places? Like, does he just appear in people's houses, or
he's primarily in people's bedrooms and in their closets, like the boogeyman?
Okay.
Yeah. Which, like, the closet thing, I'm like, that's just your brain playing tricks on you, and you see.
That's one of your dresses hanging up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just,
yes, thank you. Sorry, I yawned again.
No, it's okay.
It's the evening.
That's just like something hanging, like your jacket or something.
Right, like you're seeing your coat hanging. But then, like, the red glowing eyes, it kind of throws me.
Well, yeah, there is that. But I feel like I would understand, like, in the corner of your room, like, you just look over. But, like, if you're going, like, into your closet, you'd have to really be, like, looking for, like what? I don't know. You know, like,
well,
you know,
if your closet door's open
on it. Well, that's true. I guess you could glance in. See, I cannot stand to sleep with my closet door open.
You feel like
Wes,
the boogeyman's gonna come get you?
Yes. And Wes is like, just like leaves it open sometimes, and I'm like, I cannot. How can you sleep with this open?
Well, it's just a closet.
I don't like, because it's the dark doorway, like we've talked about. Like, I'm the one near the closet, though. See,
I am also near the closet.
So if I turn over and I see something dark, like a shadow, or like, I'm just like, I don't know. I like the door closed. Sometimes he'll like leave open the bathroom door, which is on my side too, like just open even when I'm just sitting there in the day, and I'm like, close that. It feels so imbalanced. I'm like, I need
bizarre.
that closed. I need that closed.
I
think that's an OCD thing.
Even during the day?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I could understand it during the night. Now, we leave our closet door cracked open, because if we don't leave our closet door cracked open...
He's looking at you.
No, well, our cat scratches on it.
Okay, well, that's fair.
And because she likes to go into the closet. She also likes to go into the bathroom. But the heat in our bathroom works really well.
But at least your animal's going in there, so she's going to tell you if he's in there, so...
Not necessarily.
She'll scout.
Yeah, sure.
Why do animals not see him?
I don't know. I'm sure they do. He's a spiritual.
That's what I want to know. Like, if the animal can see it, that's when you got to be really worried.
That's when you really got to burn the whole house down.
Yeah.
Just get a new one.
Oh, if I saw anything in my house, I would move out.
Sometimes, Hannah.
Oh, gosh.
I'm going to spook you right now. Sometimes Marshall and I will hear our doors open or close in our house downstairs at night. And when we're like, it's haunted.
Why have you just said this nonchalantly? Why haven't you said this before? Because you are scared I won't come over?
Yeah.
I'm not staying here. You can be here with the ghosts at night. I'm not going to do it.
Well, okay. I don't think there's actually ghosts.
Is the house just creaking?
It could be. But there have been times when I have sworn on my life I heard someone come up the stairs from the garage and shut the door.
And have you and Marshall heard it at the same time?
No, but I have woken him up and been like, Marshall, there.
Yeah.
Actually, we may have heard it once at the same time when we were like, what was that?
I don't like that. I don't like that. Because, like, I've lived in old houses that just, like, creak.
Like this house, I also learned that houses, we live in a split level home, and split level homes oftentimes like start to separate. And and we literally, I was like, that makes so much sense, because if it's like, there's certain times where if this door into this room that we are currently sitting in is closed, you cannot get it open. Like, someone has to come open it from the outside, and it freaks me out. Makes me feel trapped.
Are you sure it's not like Kiki making a noise?
No, because Kiki's in our room with us. And this is very distinctly, like, downstairs.
Okay. So, like, here's the real question. Like, have you, like, left a door closed and then come down to open? Or do they always close?
Well, that's the thing about living with a person.
You just don't know.
You just don't know. And I will say, we have, like, doorways. So we have, like, a living room, and then we have, like, a den area, a living room and a dining room. And then there's a wall, and there's a door on either side of that wall. And then it's, like, a kitchen and a den area. And we shut the door to the kitchen and the den when we're in the kitchen, so that our dogs can't, like, roam around and, like, go pee or poop in the house. But yeah, so we'll shut those doors, and then sometimes one will get open, but the other one won't, and what have you. But like, you never know which one is open.
Who did? Yeah, I don't like that.
And Creaky. And Kiki has a weird obsession with our laundry room. At first we were like, oh, it's the mouse.
Right. Because
the mouse is gone. She's obsessed.
Maybe it's just because the mouse was there. Nah. The animals will remember that.
No, man. Well, she did it before the mouse was there, too.
Maybe there's something else living in there. Maybe not just a ghost. Maybe something else.
I'm just saying. Anyway, sorry. That was a side note. But
anyway, I'm going to go home now.
And podcast over.
Right.
Like I said, he doesn't attack people. He literally just stands or hovers in the corner over your chest, and but it's like he's every account was he's watching me. He doesn't have a face, but he's watching me. I know he's watching me. Right. There was one lady who's like he did not have eyes. There was no eyes, but I knew he was watching me.
How long does he last? Like before?
Some people will be like
disappears?
He was there for a little bit. Some people will be like, I rubbed my eyes and he was still there. And then I was staring at him and I blinked and he was gone. So it's like, it's varying amounts.
Sleep paralysis demon.
That's a very big theory.
Yeah.
And we won't get into that.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of sleep.
Okay.
He is now often known as the Benadryl Hatman because he's associated with having taken Benadryl. Like if you've taken Benadryl, you're more susceptible to seeing him.
Because you're sleepy and you're seeing things.
Because you're hallucinating.
Yeah.
I will say this about this.
Seems a little
This
sus.
has become so popular, like the fact that if you take Benadryl, you are more likely to see him. But there's now a TikTok trend going around where people are taking a bunch of Benadryl to try and meet him and see him.
Don't do that.
And I just have to say,
stop.
If you were considering taking Benadryl to see a demon shadow monster,
right?
You need to go to church. You need to quit that. You need to cut that. You don't actually have to go to church, but don't do that. That is seriously bad for you.
Yeah, it's dangerous. Like, just don't.
Please be careful with that.
If you have to take a medication to see him, are you actually seeing Hatman?
Well, you don't have to take it to see him.
Right.
Like there's other people who saw him before, like without being on Benadryl.
Right. But like if you're like doing it,
if you're purposely trying to do it, it's like people who specifically try to lucid dream.
Yeah.
Like that scares me.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Like lucid dreaming is terrifying.
Yeah.
Because like your dreams will come after you. They'll like.
Yeah.
They'll be like, you're awake. Get out. Like.
Yeah. I'm not trying to
kicks them off.
Yeah.
So whenever you like try to do that on purpose, it creeps me out.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do any of that stuff.
Could not be me. More power to you if you can do that. But I absolutely could not do that.
Just don't take Benadryl in copious amounts.
Yeah, like also that's another thing. If you're taking a bunch of Benadryl, like that is not good for your body. That is not good for your health, especially if you don't need it. Like take the prescribed dosage if you need it, but don't like
obviously
go out of your way to take Benadryl for no reason.
Also, why do you want to see him? Like, why?
It's the curiosity that killed the cat. You know,
some people, some people like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
the adrenaline. I don't. No, I'm good.
Adrenaline junkies.
I'm good.
Not you.
I'm an adrenaline junkie, and like I'm gonna go on this roller coaster. But not in like I want to like freak myself out. Like that doesn't. No, that one doesn't get me.
Yeah, yeah. I'd have to agree with you. Yeah, I do like. I like roller coasters, but I don't like heights.
Yeah, I used to really like heights, and I still can do them. But like there are sometimes I'm like, ooh, like that's high, you know. But for the most part, I kind of enjoy it. Like if I was climbing, no. Like if it was me like climbing up something, I would be like. See,
sometimes like roller coasters freak me out though because I'm like, we're so distracted this time.
I know.
I'm so sorry. Sometimes roller coasters freak me out though because it's like I am trapped. I could not get out of this if I needed to. Yeah. You know, like it's like if something goes wrong, I'm done for because I couldn't get out. I'm trapped in here.
But then again, you don't want to feel no loose pieces when you're about to go up.
Yeah, no.
I hate the part where you are climbing sometimes. Like if it's really high and we're like, and we're going
you're
slow.
Just snail's pace climbing up there. It's like, okay.
Sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm ready to just, for the speed.
Just like you forget. Whip me up there and then you can like slowly take me over. Yeah. But like whip me up there.
Stop. I love roller coasters.
Yeah. I haven't been on a roller coaster in a while. We should go.
Yeah, we should go. I don't know where, but We should go.
There's Kings Island. Have you been to Kings Island?
No, I haven't.
Okay, we're going to Kings Island.
Yay!
Anyways, okay. Like I said, everyone they have like a heavy feeling, but they also have an ominous feeling.
Okay.
Like after he disappears, like he's disappeared, and they just feel the ick.
He left something.
What I'm saying? They're like, this is not right. I feel funny. Like it's like, do you ever?
Yeah.
Whenever you're walking like up the stairs after you turn the lights off, and then you're like, I don't like. That's what I feel like they feel.
Yeah.
Where it's like you feel like
something's
like,
chasing me.
Not even chasing me, but something's down there.
Like something's like behind me. Yeah. Yeah. It's like
it's like that feeling when nothing's behind you, but then like you're like something's back there.
Yeah.
That is what I feel like they feel. So some people are gonna get into what is he? Some people they think that he is an omen of evil.
Oh.
Other people think that he's not evil and he's just like an omen,
kind of like Mothman, like he warns you about things.
Yeah, because he never physically does anything to you.
He just oppresses, right? Like he like you feel it, but it's not like he's hurting you.
He's like psychologically hurting you. He's like a witch.
Yeah.
Anyway, not actually, but like you know what I'm saying. There was when I was looking up, like, is he an omen? Because that's what it sounded like to me, a little bit like it was like, is he an omen? This sounds like where it's going.
Right.
People like, we don't know. We genuinely do not know if he's an omen or not. And some people say that they have seen him like before, during, or after a traumatic event. Like something's going on. So it's like, that's where like that omen comes in. Some people think, like maybe he's an omen, but he's not evil. Here's my feelings on it. If he is an omen,
right,
and you feel fear when you see him or are around him or after he leaves, if you feel fear, he's evil. Yeah, it's not a good sign. Like you're not going to feel a fear like that where you can't move, you can't breathe. You're not going to feel like that. If it's like all hunky dory.
I don't know. Because I mean if you believe in this, people when they saw angels were scared.
Yeah, but that was like an awe. This is like
I don't know.
Dark, evil,
you can feel
like
the difference.
Heaviness. You don't really
you can
feel
be scared.
Yeah, but you don't really feel like the heavy like, oh my gosh, like if it's good.
There's a different kind of...
I think, maybe I'll rephrase it. The heaviness of it. The heaviness aspect of it is where it's like, you're not going to feel that.
Right. Yeah. No, you're not.
Because I have felt heaviness.
Oh, yeah.
And it was not good. It was evil. In my professional opinion. Anyways. Yeah. Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah, there's something going on. It could... Because he said traumatic. Because I feel like people can see things when they've gone through a traumatic experience.
Yeah, like hallucinate.
Yeah.
That's
like mental.
That's we're gonna get a little bit more into this, but not really, but sort of. Everybody who sees him sees the same thing, though.
Okay, yeah.
So it's
interesting.
It's like, it's a hallucination.
Yeah.
It's a hallucination. Woo, hallucination.
A hallucination.
It's a hallucination, but like.
People see the same thing.
You're not going to hallucinate the same exact thing. Yeah. Now, I will say this at this point, with like Hatman and the description and all the like tales and stuff like that, I could understand where people would like hallucinate Hatman at this point because he's become so popular. But like beforehand, no, I don't get that part. Anyways, so another theory is that he is the unconscious made real or sleep paralysis.
What? So like a dream man?
So like the unconscious made real is like born from fear or paranoia or anxiety, or it's like you think something's watching you and you're so paranoid about it that then you start to see him and then he's like actually there watching you.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Like you could, yeah. People are probably on medication for that sort of thing. Like you can
Like
convince yourself.
Your mind is so dangerous to even just you.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
I know it.
Yeah. Girl, don't you ever.
As someone living with anxiety and OCD. we can.
Yeah. So that's what.
I've never seen anything and I don't want to see anything, but I'm saying it's like.
You can believe that happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you can convince yourself of a lot of stuff.
A lot of people. Yeah, you can. You can.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that if you ignore it, like if you ignore the feelings, you ignore the fact that he's there, and you try not to think about it too much when it's not around or whatever, then those feelings will leave and he will leave. Like it'll go away. And then that's when you'll know, oh, this was just my unconscious, like worry, anxiety, whatever, projecting itself into the real world. But if you play into the fear and you keep constantly thinking about it, and you're like, oh my gosh, I saw him. He's going to come back. Shoot. So.
I can't. No, because I would not be able to stop thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good.
And then you specifically would be like so paranoid about not thinking about it that's all you would think about.
Exactly.
Like,
that's
I need to not think about it. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking about it. Oh my gosh, I need to not think
issue.
about it. Yeah.
It's like, I'm like, I need to not think about this thing, and that's all I can think about.
Yeah, and then that makes you think about it. It's because you're actively trying not to think about it.
No.
But going into the sleep paralysis aspect of it, when you're in sleep paralysis, it's basically that what it is it's your brain wakes up, but your body doesn't.
Right.
So it's like whenever you're asleep and then you like wake up, so like your body is not awake yet. So you can't move, you can't speak, you can't do anything like that. But your brain is awake. So all you can do is like breathe and
be conscious,
see
somewhat.
Something and see, like move your eyes around. So it could be explained as that you also see hallucinations whenever you're in sleep paralysis because you're it's just you're waking up, which comes into the hallucination.
Right.
It could be explained as a sleep paralysis demon. You know, everybody jokes about their sleep paralysis demon. But like I said, it's weird that so many people have had the same account, not even just in the same area, but like I said, globally.
Are there any other
there's different cultures. It's like it's not even saying, like, there's different languages. Like there's certain people who they have no way to speak English, no contact with anyone who speaks English, but they see the exact same thing and they describe the exact same thing. And like even with like the cultural differences, like why would he be wearing a trench coat? That doesn't make sense. And a hat.
That, yeah.
Like,
that's weird. Yeah.
That part doesn't make sense. And that's what weird. Has like scientists and psychologists stumped.
Because usually you would see something that was like, oh, I recognize this. Like, this is just like, a baseball cap that everyone wears around here. I know it's not a baseball cap, but like,
yeah.
You would think that other cultures would see him in like their attire.
Yes.
Or their, yeah.
Yes. There was one psychologist, I can't remember his name, but he was like, after I started looking into it, I was like, isn't there like a scary movie character with a coat and a brimmed hat? And it's Freddy Krueger.
Oh.
And so he's like, so that would make sense why people who have seen this movie would see Freddy Krueger. But then there's people who have no access to this movie and see the exact same thing. And why would they see it like that?
Why would they see that? Yeah.
They wouldn't.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's not anything they would ever see in their culture. So it's like, why would they see that? Anyway, so that has them stumped. And then what's also strange and what's also like, sleep paralysis? I don't think so.
Okay.
Is that Hatman has been seen during the day.
Like
outside,
wide awake. Outside?
While people are going about their day. There was one account of one lady who she had seen him. She had trouble with insomnia, and so her therapist had prescribed her medications and she stopped seeing him.
Okay.
Which is weird because now it's like the Benadryl thing, but I guess they were like so heavy that it just knocked her out.
Yeah.
So she stopped seeing him. She was sleeping, and then she was on her way to her therapist appointment and she saw him, and then the therapist was like, that could be a side effect, and then she was like, but I'm not having any other hallucinations or anything like that. And then there's also like all kinds of stories of people being like, yeah, I saw him at night. I like kind of like ignored him, didn't give him the time of day or whatever. It's because it's not like like, you know, you like stare at him and then he like disappears basically. Yeah. But it's like I kind of ignored him and then I saw him again when I was gardening the next day, you know, like outside by the tree. So he is primarily in the evening in your bedroom, in your closet.
But then once you see him.
But then there's been like some people they see him multiple times only in their room. Some people see him outside.
That's weird.
So that's also a way it's like even further not like a sleep, like they're wide awake, going about their day, and then boom, he's there. Yeah.
Okay.
Now we're gonna get into shadow people.
Oh gosh. Okay, that scares me. That sounds scary.
You will remember my Flesh Pedestrian episode.
Yes.
One of the theories is that they were shadow people.
Okay.
So I was really excited to see this come back around. Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, it's the shadow people again. Speaking of, if you have not listened to the Flesh Pedestrian episode, spoiler alert, or warning, trigger warning, I don't know. We're going to say it. All I can think is Flesh Pedestrian now. Skinwalker, our Skinwalker episode. You should go listen to that. It's really good. I covered shadow people a little bit in that one. So basically what is a shadow person? Shadow people are dark humanoid figures. So they look like humans. They're like dark figures that are in the shape of a human. Yeah. They have often been interpreted as spirits and supernatural entities over time, like centuries
over years,
back.
People have seen them.
Yeah. And also all over different cultures. And each culture has a different name for them. They're really interesting. You should look into them if you want to. They are most commonly known to affect people with dementia, schizophrenia, and people who suffer from sleep paralysis. So it's like, okay, if you already suffer from it, the shadow person might come and get you, because who's going to believe you? You have sleep paralysis. Right. You know? Rosemary Ellen Gully, however you say your name. She is a paranormal
investigator?
Expert.
Oh, okay.
Couldn't think of the word. It's right there, but I couldn't read it properly. She's a paranormal expert, and she believes that, and other people also believe, that they are visitors from another planet.
Oh no. Aliens?
And she said that they, quote, wear hats to cover up imperfect heads, end quote.
So like a different shaped head?
Yeah, and that would explain the brimmed hat.
Why are they a shadow? Is that just what they look like? Or are they like hiding themselves, kind of?
I think that's just what they look like.
That's just what they look like?
Yeah.
So, in essence, they're aliens scouting out?
Some people think they're aliens. Some people think they're witches.
Oh.
Some people think
like more like a different dimension than just like the galaxy, like, you know, the universe. Yeah. What am I trying to say? What word?
I know what you're trying to say.
Outer space? Maybe?
No, I don't think that was it. But, you know, it's something
like
that. Yeah. So that is... I'm excited for that theory because, again, that goes further to say that Hatman is multiple men. Multiple beings, whatever they are. Yeah. So that's what he is. Now, again, I've been mentioning a bunch of like, oh yeah, this one person said, this person said, this person said. If you would like to look into any more of like those like accounts or anything like that, there is it's what's called the Hatman Project, and it's a site, and it's basically a site for people to go and document their experiences. And some of them are like, are you sure that's Hatman because he physically touched you? And there's literally never been a single person who has said, yeah, I saw Hatman and he like touched you. And then there's some of them that are just kind of like, yo, I saw this when I was younger and I had no idea that other people had seen had this experience. Like, whoa, holy cow. But yeah, so I would recommend going there. That's where I got a lot of these stories. We're coming to a close here a little bit. And I'm going to get into just real quick. There is a spirit in another culture. So if I say it wrong or if you have more information on it, don't come for me. Just like write in and
just
let
us know. We try, but
yes. But in the 70s and 80s, there were Asian refugees. They were from Southern Asia. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce their name. They're like, like not like Americans, but like, what's that called?
Ethnicity,
I guess. I guess.
I mean, yeah, right?
Yeah, I'm not even going to attempt. I don't even know. There's different letters and there's so many silent letters. So they're Asian, Southern Asian refugees, and they came over in the 70s and the 80s, and they began dying in their sleep.
What?
Just dying in their sleep. And like, that's weird enough, right? It's like, okay, whatever. Yeah. But then they were refugees. So maybe on the way over, they got sick, right?
They got sick, yeah.
But then it kept happening for decades.
Oh, that's weird.
And like hundreds of people died in their sleep. Hundreds of like this very specific ethnic group.
Yeah, ethnic group.
Died and dying in their sleep. Now, doctors said it was this weird medical condition that, again, I don't know how to pronounce.
But passed down? Sorry.
Yeah, for decades. I mean,
I know that can happen, like, in a family, but, like, that long?
Yeah, for that many. And I'm not even sure that it was, like, the bloodlines were, like, dying. You know, it's not even like it was the same people dying from the same families. It was, like, just all of them, basically. Like, which is awful. I didn't mean to laugh at that, but it's just,
right.
You know,
could it have been that they were like susceptible to something over here that they like hadn't been exposed to or vaccinated against, that just like
probably, but like
what would have done it in the sleep only?
Yeah, and it was only in the sleep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, they like diagnosed them with like something or another where it was like, yeah, sure, they all got this and they whatever.
They just, of course.
Because, you know.
They'll come up with an explanation
They will.
Like, that would make sense.
Well, but they did it. They were forced to come up with an exclamation.
Oh. An exclamation.
An explanation. Oh my goodness.
It's late.
Yes, it is. They were forced to come up with an explanation. Oh my gosh.
Excavation.
They had to come up with an excavator, really.
Something.
Anyways, because the entire community was rightfully freaked out. Like they were.
You wouldn't want to go to sleep.
Wigged out. I mean, yeah. If I was a little kid and I found out people were dying in their sleep,
I would not.
And I thought what they thought it was, I'd be like, peace out. I'm gonna die from exhaustion instead. He's not gonna get me. But so they I'm sorry. They attributed the deaths to Sog?
What?
I think the T is silent. Dabsog?
Is that the spirit or is that the sickness?
That is the spirit.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I was say that sounds like a spirit.
Sickness starts with a B.
Okay.
It basically translates to night hag.
Night hag.
Now, the paintings of this, because there's some paintings of it, and I meant to put it in here, and I'm sorry I didn't.
How dare you?
I know.
I don't have any visuals.
The paintings of this don't look like Hatman.
Oh, okay.
So you might be like, it doesn't even look like him. What the heck are you even doing? I am just simply saying that his description of what he does is a little weird.
Okay.
It's a little eerily similar.
Okay.
So it's a nocturnal spirit that basically... they used the term that they were being attacked in their sleep. They were attacking sleepers, is what they called them, by sitting or hovering over their chest.
Okay. So.
And then they would like basically be stealing their breath because they were hovering over their chest.
Oh.
Which if this is Hatman, that's even more creepy because and it's almost like I want it to be Hatman because I want it to be more than just watching people because that's creepy.
Yeah.
Because then it's like it could just be, you know, like Hatman could just be like a ghosty boy who's like kind of a perv.
Yeah. But you're saying you want it to be Hatman or don't?
I kind of want it to be Hatman because it makes more sense than just being a pervy ghost.
Well, but then why only did this happen to this group?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And who's to say that it did only happen to this group?
Or it's just whenever
But because they had a name for it, that it was like so much more well known.
Yeah.
You know? Not only did he do that, but he would also sometimes sit at the foot of their bed.
No. Mm-hmm.
And
Bye-bye.
watch them sleep.
And would it be other people seeing this or them?
I feel like other people had to have seen it.
Yeah.
And especially in order to draw it and have like the description of it and like the tail, like, you know, like if, you know, your wife is sleeping next to you and she dies in her sleep, you had to have seen something, you know, like. Well,
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you see it, do you die? Or like you can see it and then like days later you die? You know what I mean? Like, what are you able to be like, I saw this thing? Or is it the other people who are seeing it like come for you in your sleep? You know what I mean? Like,
that is a good question that I did not look into.
No, it's okay. I mean, I totally
if you know that information, you should let us know. You should totally let us know.
Because you said it could be an omen. So, like, do they see them and then they die?
And then they die in their sleep?
Or, yeah.
Is Hatman protecting them from the Dabsog?
Maybe.
The night hag?
Maybe.
Yeah.
And they feel the evil because maybe the, whatever its name is, I don't want to say it wrong. Dabsog, maybe he's there. And he's trying to like, protect you.
There. And then Hatman's like,
that's why you feel,
get behind these, Satan.
Yeah.
But then, like, why is I keep wanting to call him Shadow Man? Why is Hatman like a shadow? Why like isn't he like evil? This bright light? You know?
Yeah. I don't know.
If he were protecting them from Dabsog,
because he wants to hide until it's necessary.
Maybe Hatman is Dabsog, but he had to change his form because people were seeing him and he didn't want people to see him. So he had to turn into a shadow so that in the middle of the night he could just, you know, creep into the shadows and not be seen, you know? Right. But then whenever he changed form, maybe he changed form and then he used all of his energy on his form, and so he doesn't have the power to kill people anymore. So he just watches and envisions himself.
Or maybe he's not a light because then Dabsong. What's his name?
Dabsog.
Sog?
T-S-O-G.
Okay.
That's why I'm like, I think this guy is silent.
Maybe because then he would see him or be scared off because, I mean, it would be.
Well, you would want him to be scared off.
You would want him to be scared off, but like before he could like get him, maybe Hatman. That's why he's like shadowy. I don't know. But anyway, I don't know.
Can Hatman even get him?
I don't know.
Maybe Hatman's like the battle of time. Maybe it's like, oh, I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to freeze in a moment of time, and then we're going to have this battle. I'm going to clean up everything, and then I'm going to be gone.
Maybe. We have all sorts of theories. What do y'all think?
Maybe.
Tell us what you think Hatman is.
Let us know.
What he does.
But I will say this. Sleepers have survived encounters with Dabsog.
Okay, but what? Okay, so some have seen him and lived.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they say that that Dabsog paralyzed them.
Oh, sleep
which
paralysis.
Is the other, like, you're paralyzed when you see Hatman, you can't move.
The only thing is, like, usually they said, well, Hatman doesn't hurt you.
Right, that's the only difference. But then it's like, well, maybe the doctors were correct, and maybe, just maybe, they did have this medical condition, and Dabsog was an omen, and Hatman is an omen, and he was coming to tell them, hey, you're going to die. You should wake up.
But he doesn't have a hat. Sorry.
Right. Yeah. Maybe he changed with the times.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe he saw a really cool detective and he was like, I want to look like that.
I want to look like that.
I'm done looking like a demon. I
New
want to
style.
look like that.
New style.
A little creature demon. I should probably wear clothes. You know, it's not acceptable.
Yeah.
It was the 70s and the 80s, you know, so it's like, okay, you know, like they were,
he's gotta fit in.
Wild and free. Now he's like, we ain't doing that anymore, homie. No. So we gotta put on this trench coat.
We gotta clothe ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay. But does Dabsaw have glowing eyes? Or did they not mention that?
They didn't mention it. Well, because he wasn't my topic, so I didn't really like spend a lot of time on him.
Why don't you go into this guy and
Hey,
see?
Siri. Oh, she responded. I didn't expect her to.
She's so far away.
I'm just kidding.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Wow,
she listened.
That's the first time Siri has ever listened.
It's doing it on my laptop now. That's weird.
Oh, goodness. Sorry, guys.
Okay, well, that's just going to be fun.
This is going to be a fun edit.
Siri, go away.
That's what I figured.
Oh.
You hurt her feelings.
I'm so sorry, girl. I didn't mean it. I mean, I did. I wanted you to go away, but whatever.
Oh, goodness.
Anyways.
Well,
that was Hatman. When I first read about him, I thought it was going to be a lot more interesting.
it's okay.
We
made it interesting, right? We made it interesting.
Yeah,
right,
but it's just a little bit of a shorter episode. No
right.
biggie. We did get on a lot of sidetracks.
We did. We're sorry.
You're welcome for,
yeah.
Hopefully
you enjoy the random conversations as well as the topics. But my advice for you this week is don't overtake Benadryl.
Don't be stupid. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say what we're all thinking.
Tide Pods.
Yeah, don't do that either. Let's not bring that trend back. You're going to die.
Don't.
Don't take a lot of Benadryl, especially if you're a teenager. Don't do it. Also, if you're an adult, you should know better. Anyways.
Yeah. Why do you want to see him?
Stay safe. I understand it.
I don't.
But stay safe out there.
Get your adrenaline fill another way. Like by listening to this podcast.
Yeah, where we tell you about him.
Right. And you can find us on what is it?
You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, and Audible. And
please follow us.
Yes, please follow. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook under Lattes on My Mind. And if you would like to reach out to us with any podcast ideas, suggestions, you just want to chit chat, you want to comment on something you heard, you can reach out to us on lattespodcast@gmail.com or on Facebook and Instagram as well.
It's true.
Stay safe out there and don't get attacked by a sleep paralysis demon.
Don't be looking for him. But if you do see him, ask what kind of hat it is.
Yeah, ask him, can you actually specify what kind of hat he is wearing? And also, where did he get the gold watch? Is it an heirloom? Did he rip it off of a body? How did he get this?
Bro, where did you get your threads?